Hello and welcome to the game design class for Wednesday, August 19th. I'm going to go ahead and let people into the class from the waiting room. Hello. Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
where's my camera?
How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing all right.
Doing good.
Hello.
Hi.
There we go.
Welcome to the Game Design 101 class.
Hello.
I am going to bring up the attendance sheet so I can see who's here, and then we'll get started with the class.
Can I take a second to get my headphones? That might let me hear easier.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, bringing up the attendance right now. Taking a second. I'm sorry if somebody just said something. The audio is a little low. Maybe you could say it again.
I think that was just Joshua turning on his headphones.
I
Oh,
think that was my headphones, yeah.
okay, great. Okay, all right. I've got the roll brought up now. So I'm going to, I'll start off by seeing who's here. Okay, so if you hear your name, just give me a shout out and I'll put you down on the list for being here today. Isai, are you here? Britt,
Here.
okay. Uh, you have to forgive me for the pronunciation on this. Jazaniah?
That's me. I go by Jazz.
Okay, great. So I've got a little list going here where I'm putting people's names. So I will put your name as Jazz. Okay. All right. And then we have Nicholas.
Yes, that's me.
Okay. And Sydney. Okay. We have Jeshua.
Oh.
Okay. Hunter.
Right here.
All right. Luis. Okay. Brian.
Here.
Joshua. Okay. We have Creed.
Yep, right here.
Okay. We have Livia.
Here.
Okay. Coulter.
Here.
Esteban.
Right here.
Michael Powers. Okay. Jesse. Okay. Let me check and make sure there's not some people trying to get in. Okay. Looks like everybody's here that's going to be here. Okay. Next we have, let's see. After Jesse, we have Hugo. Okay. Victoria.
Here.
Okay. Logan.
Hey.
Okay. Thank you. Samuel.
Here.
Jaden.
Here.
And Kaylin. Was that Kaylin is here?
Yeah. I just go by Cal if you want. If you want to just call me Cal.
Cal, you got it, sir. Okay, yeah, and the rest of you guys, if you want to be called, addressed a certain way, please just let me know.
Do you call me Nick?
Call you Nick?
Yes.
You got it. Let me write that down. Okay, got it. All right. So welcome to Game Design 101. This class is going to be entirely virtual class, so it's all going to be online. It's a fun class. I love teaching this class. I hope you guys will have fun. I think you probably will, because most people do. Of course, designing games is a lot of fun in and of itself. But I think this class will be fun because it's a beginning class, which means, you know, the assignments are not going to be deadly hard, but you get to make games, which is super fun, right? Okay, so what I want to start with is something I know you guys all love because you've loved it since first grade, which is to introduce yourselves to everybody. I can see some of you are like, I hate this class already. This guy, I hate this guy. I hate this class. What we're going to do is just, I'll give you some prompts, some things you can say. You can just tell us your name. You can tell us what you hope to get out of the class, and you can even tell us what you're going for as far as a degree. If you want to tell us extra things like hobbies you have or where you're from, you're welcome to do that as well. But at a minimum, just tell us, you know, who you are and what you want to get out of this class. So I'm just going to start. I'm just going to go over here to my attendance list and start with the first name and have you guys introduce yourself. So let me see. A couple people just joined. Isai is here now. So Isai, are you there?
Hi, yes. I don't have a cam at the moment, though. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Can you
Okay.
can you introduce yourself to the class and maybe tell us you know, why you're here and what you hope to get out of the class?
Yeah, I'm very interested in actually just recently bought a new computer, so I'm even more interested in gaming and I've also taken some animation classes before, so that's also I really love animation and cartoons and stuff like that, and that's pretty much where I want to make my career.
Awesome. That sounds great. Okay, thank you so much, Isai. And I did put you down in the role here, so you're good.
Okay.
Okay, next is Britt.
Yeah, I've actually worked on a couple of games before, and I just really enjoy putting them together. So it's Britt.
And so are those video games that you worked on?
Yeah.
Very cool. So that's basically what you want to do?
Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds like a fun job. Okay, thank you, Britt. We'll go over here to Jazz. Jazz, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm pretty non-traditional in a bunch of senses. I'm older. I've had a career as a database administrator. I'm getting involved in Unity's dot stack because data makes sense to me. And I've loved video games since I was a kid. So, you know, jumping into that field finally after so many years just makes sense for me.
Awesome. And Unity is like the world's greatest program, so you're going to have a lot of fun with that.
It's working on it for sure.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Jazz. Nick, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I've been playing games for a while now, and I just thought, why not? I've always said I was going to do it, so why not? I don't know.
Awesome. So now you just decided to dip your
Yeah.
toe in the pool, right?
Yep. I've never actually done this before.
Cool. Well, we're glad to have you. I hope you have fun. Let's see. Now, did Sydney ever show up? I know some people joined. Sydney, are you here? Okay, I guess not. Jeshua.
Hey, so I'm not new to the whole college thing either. This is my 4th year of college, but I switched from NAU down to here because I wasn't learning what I wanted to know up at NAU. So here I am learning actual game design. I want to get into making games for VR. I want to be like the IRL James Halliday.
Wow, VR, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's a good time to be getting into that. That's just gonna get huge, you know. It's already big, it's just gonna get huger. So cool. All right, thank you, Joshua. So Hunter?
Hi. Right now I'm just confused on what I want to do as a career, so I figured I'd try out game design, see if it sticks. I'm at a kind of crossroads between stuff like architectural design and creating games, but I'd like to try it out, see what I can make, see if I enjoy it.
Cool. All right, that sounds good. And your fallback is architecture, huh?
Yes,
That's a pretty awesome fallback.
or drafting.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Did Luis join? Luis, did you ever show up?
Yeah, I'm right here. I don't know if you
Okay.
can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. You want to? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. I have a very similar situation at Hunters where I'm just kind of a crossroads right now. Don't really know what to do, and figured game design would, if doesn't become a job, it could at least become a creative outlet for me.
Perfect. Yeah. So just stick your foot in the pool and try it out, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds perfect. Okay, and then we have Brian. Brian, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Brian, and yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do in college. Uh, when I looked at the careers, I saw gaming, and I thought it would be really cool to try it.
Cool. Okay, sounds good. And then we have, let's see, did Joshua ever show up? Joshua? No. Okay. Then how about Creed?
Yeah, so I just always have loved video games my whole life, and even recently I started to just write like reviews on like a blog that I made, just like a little blogger type of thing. And I like analyzing games, so I thought it would be really interesting to understand how to make a game, and possibly I want to work in video games in some capacity. So
That sounds
figured like this is a great first step.
awesome. Okay, thank you. Okay, now we have Livia.
Hi, this is my first semester in game design. I am from Panama, and that's it.
That's the whole introduction. Okay, so hopefully you'll like game design. You want to pursue it. Thank you, Livia. Coulter?
Had to mute myself. My name is Coulter. Obviously, I've actually taken a game design class before in high school. This is my first year at college. I hope to study programming and eventually come back and study animation for game design and stuff like that. But yeah.
Okay, perfect. We're glad to have you. Okay, next we have Esteban.
Hi. I've been playing video games my whole life, and I thought I'd give making them a try. So, all right.
Sounds perfect to me. Is that your gaming chair you're in?
Yeah.
That looks super awesome.
Does it lean back all the way?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Michael, did you ever show up? Michael?
Yeah, I'm right here. I know
Okay.
it says Adina right there. That's my girlfriend. I didn't log into the right account.
Okay.
But yeah, this is my first year of college, and I'm looking to make a game. I just got into PC gaming. I just bought a PC. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Perfect. Good. We're happy to have you. Okay, Jesse, did you ever show up, Jesse? Looks like you're there.
Muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a laptop right now with no webcam, so yeah. Anyway, I took animation last semester and I really enjoyed all of that, and I want to get into the gaming aspect of it, and I'm just really interested in this class, and that's about it.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Did Hugo ever show up? Hugo?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Hugo, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm just following my major and study game design, and that's all.
Okay, right. So this is one of the classes, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you, Hugo. And Victoria?
I'm here. So basically, this is my third year of college, and I originally went to Pima for film and animation, but then I quickly figured out that I didn't want to do that. So then I was like, why not fall back to my passion, which is playing video games? So here I am, seeing if I like making video games.
Sounds great. I love your, that's a wonderful microphone you have there too.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice. Okay, thank you. And do you go by Vicky or Victoria?
Victoria or Vic,
Okay.
whichever's better.
Okay, thank you. And let's see, we have Logan here.
Yeah, I've just really always loved playing video games, and I really wanted to get into the animation part of it. I have like Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, so I really want to learn more on how to use those and learn from this class.
Sounds great. All right, thank you, Logan. And then we have Jaden.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hey, okay. So this is my third year. Yeah, this is my third year. I started out at New Mexico State and I went for computer science, and then I changed to business. I wanted to get into game development out there, and then I just ended up switching majors for different reasons. So I just decided why not to try to kind of go back into gaming somehow with this class. So yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you, Jaden. It's good to have you.
Thanks.
And then we have Cal.
Yeah. So this is my first year in college. I've been making like multiplayer servers for some games, but I don't have like much experience with it. So that's why I just chose this. I'm really looking forward to it. Super interesting, and I love it. So.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you. Okay, let me just check on a couple people. So Sydney, I didn't ever see you, and Joshua, and so neither of you guys are here, right? Sydney and Joshua? Okay, so hopefully they'll show up next time. Okay, well, just real quick about me. I grew up here in Tucson and went to Pima and the U of A. I enjoyed both schools, and I started my own multimedia business and ended up doing a variety of things, everything from comic books to games to web design, and eventually started teaching, and that's what led me back to Pima. So I've been teaching here at Pima for a little over 10 years. I'm now full-time faculty in the arts department, digital arts. So if you want to, just some people like to know how to address me. You can call me whatever you feel comfortable with. You can call me Greg. You can call me Professor, whatever floats your boat. I'm fine with all of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And when I do that, it's going to take over your whole screen, but all you have to do is hit the escape button and it will shrink down and you can make it, as small as you want it. So I'm going to do that because I'm going to go ahead and bring up the class website so that we can look at some stuff together. So let me go ahead and first get to the class website. Here it is, and game design. Okay, and now I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. And boom, there it is. Okay, now, by the way, some of you are aware that when you're using Zoom, you have this little chat window. If you guys have questions or comments or anything like that, you can type them in the chat window, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions, or if you want to just say something, I'm happy to answer that kind of question too. But we're going to start out by talking about the class website. Now, in most Pima classes that have an online component, your information is going to be inside something called D2L, which is Pima's software for classes. Well, part of my background is as a web designer, so I actually just built my own website, and I put all the information about my classes on this site, with the exception of grades. The only thing that's going to be in D2L is grades. Everything else is going to be on this website. So the address of this website is pima.dreamco.com, and Dreamco is DREAMCO. So basically, every week I'm going to put a new post up here. It's going to have all the information you're going to need for the class. So you can go to this this website, and then on the left-hand side there's going to be the names of all these classes. So you click on game design, and then here will be the post for this week, right? There'll always be a link there, It's always the same link to join the Zoom class, and then whatever information we're going to talk about in the class. Okay, so we've done the introductions and the attendance. The next thing we have to do is we very quickly have to go over the syllabus. It's just a requirement. 95% of it is a template that you guys already know because it's in every class. So I'm going to skip that and just talk about the 5% that's unique to this class. If you want to see the syllabus, you can go up here on the class website to the syllabi link, and then you can click on game design. And in my case, since I have a Macintosh, it downloads the PDF, and so I have to open that up as a PDF. So like I said, most of this is stuff that is on all of your templates, syllabus templates, all the links to access and disability resources, to key dates and student resource policies, to attendance requirements. That stuff is on every syllabus, so I'm not going to go over it. What I will go over are the specifics of the class. This is Game 101, Game Design. It meets on Monday and Wednesday virtually online from 3:10 to 5 p.m. I will be recording every one of these classes and placing it on the class website here. So if you miss a class or you need to review something, you can go back and watch it. There is no book for the class. There's actually a PDF textbook that I'm going to share with you, but there is one piece of software that you'll need to get in place of a book, and it costs about $20. It's even cheaper if 4 of you go in and buy it together. In other words, if you buy a 4-pack, it becomes $15. And that software is it's a virtual game design software called Tabletop Simulator. Has anybody ever heard of it?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I have.
I think so. I think I've heard of it before.
I may have as well.
Yeah, well, we'll take a look at it. Tabletop Simulator is going to allow you guys to make very simple games like card games and board games, and then put them into Tabletop Simulator. It's basically a virtual tabletop. So it'll allow you to do things like import graphics for cards, and then you can actually put the cards on the table and play a card game with other people online. So it's a virtual environment for board and card games. Now, you can also import 3D objects. You can import 3D models. There's some limited physics in it, so you can do some interesting things there. And it's a really popular program. I think you guys will dig it. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. I'll show you the program and talk about how to get it and everything. Okay, down here is my contact information on the syllabus. The best way to get a hold of me is through email. Because I'm not going to be at the school all the time because a lot of the classes are virtual or hybrid, so I'm not going to be down there all the time in my office. The course description is basically that we're going to be learning, in this first class, you're going to be learning principles of game design. And we're going to teach you those by having you build these virtual games inside Tabletop Simulator. And then in future classes, you'll learn Unity and programming and game art and all that good stuff. Okay, let's see. You probably want to have a flash drive or a portable hard drive plus maybe some headphones, available. I mean, you can obviously save everything on your computer if you want, but that's always good to have. Okay, student learning outcomes. This is just, learning the basics of game design. I will talk briefly about grade calculation. 80% of your grade is going to be the assignments you do, the games that you create. 10% is participation. That's just you showing up, to class, asking questions, participate. And the last 10% is something called a presentation, which I will describe in just a moment. Everything else from here on out in the syllabus is just, like I said, the template that's on every syllabus. It talks about, if you want to withdraw from the class or if you want to ask for an incomplete grade or something, it gives all policies on that. So, okay, that's, I like to do the syllabus really quick because, you get it in every class. Does anybody have any questions about the syllabus? Okay, so let me go ahead and close that up, and let me go ahead and talk about the presentations. So, we're required to teach one thing every week that every student is involved with. It's just a requirement. And we have the option whether to give you guys a test every week or to do something different. Now, I'm not a big fan of tests, as I'm sure you guys aren't. So I decided to go the route of having everybody give one single presentation. So everybody in the class is going to give one presentation once during the semester, and everybody else is going to watch that presentation. And then if you have questions or comments, you can make them. And so that involves all of us. That's the one thing we're going to do every week, right? So what's going to happen is each of you is going to be assigned a date sometime during the semester, and that's when your presentation will be due. And your presentation is going to be about the game design industry, right? It's called an industry report. And you can do it on any aspect of the game design industry that floats your boat, right? Let's say that you love game animation. So you can spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about, how games are animated. Let's say you love the history of video games. So you can do a presentation about that. Let's say you love a certain game maker and you want to talk all about them and their career. So really anything like that. Now, the one thing I don't want everybody to do, I don't want you to just come in and say, my favorite game is League of Legends and here's pictures of me playing it. It's like, okay, that's great. More power to you, right? But we want you to do something that is going to increase the knowledge of the class about the game design industry. So anything that you're passionate about that's not just this is my favorite game is fair game, so to speak. Now, if we go up here to the website and we click on presentations, there's a little FAQ document here, which is a PDF that talks about how to do your presentation, right? And what it is your presentation is going to be 5 to 10 minutes long. It's very short. You can use the Google Slides program, which is actually part of your Pima account, or PowerPoint, and just do a slide presentation, which is what most people do, and then just talk about, what the presentation is about. I use the example of animation here, but of course we're in a game design class. So wherever you see animation, you can change it to game design, but you could talk about new game design technology, history of game design, making of specific games, gaming techniques, famous gamers or game creators, etc., right? I told you your presentation is going to be due. I'm going to make a schedule and then put everybody's name and a date. You'll turn it in by putting it in a Google Drive folder that you'll share with me. You can use notes during your presentation if you like, and of course you're giving the presentation to the class, right? And we'll do that virtually, so you'll save your Google slide document in your Google Drive folder, and then you'll just open it up and basically show it to the class. Share your screen with the class like I'm doing, and just talk us through the presentation. Now, what I'm going to do, once we kind of get into the class here, is, there will be on this presentations page, there will be a little section called Fall 2020, and then it'll say game design, and then there'll be a list just like this. It'll say your name and then a date, and that'll be the day that you give your presentation. Now, if you are going to be out of town or you want to switch with somebody or something like that, that's all good. We can do all that stuff. Okay, now, what I would like us to do next is I would like us all to make folders in our MyPima accounts that you share with me so that you can turn in any sort of work that way. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you guys to go to Pima, to type pima.edu into your computers and log into the MyPima section. So go to pima.edu, click on MyPima, type in your username and password, and log in. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to take you to the Google Docs Drive section of the website and have you create a folder, name it, and share it with me. So I think you guys can just go down here to Student Docs. I have to go into my employee email and then click on this little waffle image up here, this little waffle guy here, and then click on Drive. Now give me a second because I just saw an email here from a student who says they can't join the Zoom meeting. So let me see.
Oh, no, that was just me. It's okay.
Oh, that was you. Okay, got it. Okay, great. Okay, so once you get into your Docs section of MyPima, come up here to the top left to click on New, the New button in the top left. All right. Then click on folder. And then go ahead and make a folder called GAM 101, and then put your name after that. Sorry, I put an extra 0 there. So just name your folder GAM 101 and then your name. And then just hit the blue create button. Now that's the first part of it. The second part is we're going to share that folder with me. So after you create your folder, go ahead and right click on it if you're on a PC. If you're on a Mac, hold down your control button and click on it. And then come down here and hover over the word share and click on the word share. And in this little box that comes up, go ahead and type my email address. Now my email address is right here on the screen. It's gjloumeau@pima.edu. So basically you're sharing this folder with me, which means you can put assignments in it and then I can get them, right? So gjloumeau@pima.edu. Go ahead and type that in that field, that share with people, and then hit the blue done button and you're good to go.
And we want
Can
you
you say
to
it
be
again
an
for a second?
editor.
I'm sorry, one at a time. Let's see. Go ahead. Hold on one second. Jeshua, go ahead.
We want you to be an editor, correct?
I don't need to be an editor, no. Who else had a comment or question?
Do you repeat the email thing? Your email?
Yeah, it's gjloumeau@pima.edu. And were there any other questions or?
So this is where we turn in like the assignments and presentations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
For Michael Powers, I go by Aiden, so I have the file under Aiden. If there's any confusion.
So how do you spell the name that you go by?
AIDAN.
Okay, let me put that down. Okay, got it. Thank you. Okay, everybody get their folder made, okay? All right, cool. All right. Okay, so we've already gotten through a lot of this stuff here. So what I'm going to do now is talk to you about just a couple more items, and then we'll start looking at Tabletop Simulator. Okay, so when working on game design, you often have to use software to design graphics, and the software that we use is the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. Now, all of you that are taking this class get free access to the Adobe Suite as long as you're taking the class, so all semester, right? Now, there is a specific way that you can sign up for this free access, and let me show you what it is. You first go to the Adobe website, which is adobe.com. And then up in the top right corner, there's a little, I think I'm logged in already. I want to log out. Let's see. Welcome back, Greg. Okay, how do I get the hell out of here? Sign out. Okay. Okay, here we go. So you go to the Adobe website. I'm not sure what you guys are going to see when you get there, but something in the top right corner should say sign in. And you click on that. And then you'll get a little screen like this, which is either going to allow you to sign in or to create a new account. Now, if you have your own Adobe account already, in other words, if you're paying Adobe $20 a month for, access to the Creative Cloud, you don't need to do this. You've already got all the software, right? If you don't, and you want to get the free software this semester, what you have to do is sign up for a new account. So what you do is, on this page here where it says sign in, click on this blue text that says create an account. And you're going to come to this page here. Now, the key thing that you need to do is you need to use your Pima email address to sign up. So like for me, I would put like, you know, gjlemo@pima.edu. Right? So make sure you put in your Pima email address. You can put in your first and last name. You can put in any password you want. If you want, you can use the same password you use for the Pima website, just so you can remember it. They want you to put in the date of birth to make sure, you know, you're 18 or older. And then, you know, of course, what country you reside in the United States. And then just click the blue create account button.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
So does it matter that it says an account with the email address already exists?
Yes, it does matter. Like that's what mine says because I already have an account, right? Do you already? So it's saying that for you, Cal?
Yeah.
And have you taken class? Well, you've been taking classes at Pima. Have you used the Adobe software?
No, I don't think I've used it at all.
Okay. Interesting. Well, okay. For you, what I would suggest is instead of creating an account, just click the sign in button.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'll do that because I've got the same situation as Cal. I'm going to sign in. Now, this is what's important. After you create your account, you can try signing in, and you're going to get this screen here. It's going to say, do you want to use your personal account or the company or school account? You have to click on company or school account, right? Click on that. Sometimes it will take you to the Pima website to make you log in, unless you're already logged in, which we probably all are because we just went in there and made folders. And then it will simply flip you over to the Adobe password protected area where you can download apps. Now in this screen here, you simply go up and click on the word apps. And this is where you can access all the programs. Now I have most of the programs already, so it's not telling me that I can download it, it's telling me I can download uploads. But for you guys, it might say download, right? You can click on these three buttons here to get more choices, right? But basically this is how you would download the software. Think about the programs you might use to make game design components like Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, right? If you're familiar with how to use these programs, it's a big plus. And I can show you some basics during the semester, but this is how you have access to the Adobe programs. If you have problems or issues with this, let me know. I'll help you out as much as I can. I'll put you in touch with our IT department if it's beyond my knowledge. Okay, is that making sense? Any questions about that?
I logged out and then I'm signing back in, and it doesn't have the option for like a school account. It's just my personal account.
It's not giving you the school account thing?
No.
Yeah,
same.
You have the same problem?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anybody that it's working for?
Me.
Yeah, it's working for me as well.
It's working for me.
Okay. I'm
Wait,
not.
Quick potential point here. For the people that are working, did you use your account as pima.edu or mail.pima.edu?
Mail.pima.edu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here, but it didn't recognize it as a school account.
Okay.
Try what I did was
They
I
did not
signed in
work
with
for me either.
through Google with my Pima account.
That's what I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it picked up the Pima account through Google, and then it made the account.
Well,
so, let's see.
So when you go to create a new account, you chose to make it with Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you go to account settings, okay, so I think I found a way to do that. You can go to, on the left, on the upper right, there's a pie chart there, and if you click on it, there's a link that appears that says view account.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go there, all I found, come on, then you go to log in through social accounts. That's on the left under manage account. And then I think we should be able to connect through Google on that option that appears.
Okay, so you click on the pie chart, and then you do what?
There should be a link that says view account.
Okay, mine says Adobe account because mine's working, but it'll say your account, and you click on that.
Yeah.
And then you click on what?
Your account. Bring up your account page. That doesn't look like your account page.
Right. Oh,
yeah. Click on the
manage account.
Yeah. It should work. Okay, so that looks like the screen I got, but I have a lot more stuff on my my view of that page.
Well, it says access your apps and services, so maybe there, or maybe if I click one of these links, it gets a lot bigger. But and then what did you click here? Was there somewhere you could access with Google?
Yeah, it's under manage your account. I've got a link that says log in through social accounts.
Okay, well, I'm already logged into an Adobe account, so I'm better than you. So you guys who this didn't work for, try this method and see if you can get it to work. I'll give you guys a minute, see if you can scrounge your way through it.
I was able to log in through Google, but I think it's still taking it as a personal account and not a school account.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. All right, well, let's do this. I'll give you guys some time at the end of the class to go back in and mess with this and try a couple different ways to get in. If it's an absolute failure, you're going to have to email me, and I'm going to have to get a hold of IT and see what's going on. But maybe you can fool around with it, try a couple of different things, and see if you can get it to work. But let's skip over this right now and go back to talking about a couple other things for the class. And then, like I said, I'll give you some time at the end of the class to work on that. Okay, so two things I want to talk about here. First of all, I have a website that I use for games that I'm working on, and I have a blog there that I just started where I talk about game design. And I'd like you guys to read the blog posts. Every week I'm going to put a new blog post up. So this link right here will take you to the blog post. Today's blog post, or this week's, is called "Why Make Games," and it talks talks a bit about what your motivation is for game design, and if that's really enough of a motivation to actually be successful, and some different reasons why people make games, and whether or not the fact that you love making games, qualifies you to make games or not. So take a quick gander. It's a really short blog post. And then there's two links down here that you might find really interesting. They're about a man named Eric, and I don't know if it's Barone or Baroni, who created the game Stardew Valley. He was a one-man video game team, and he spent a couple years making this game. So there's an article, a GQ article, written article about him, and then there's a video. And the video is kind of long. You don't have to watch it all the way through. I barely made it through, but take a look at this article, look at a little bit of this video. Interesting stuff. It's interesting to see what this one dude went through to create a game, and there's some good takeaways for you. I think you might find it inspirational if you're gonna make video games. Okay, so check that out when you get a chance. Now I wanted to talk about Tabletop Simulator, the software that I'm going to ask you guys to get. If you click on this link on the website, it'll take you to Steam, which many of you are familiar with, where you can play games and you can buy game software. And this is where you can buy the Tabletop Simulator software. Now, if you look right here, it shows you a little example of this. In fact, let me go ahead and turn the sound on, and let me see if I can get this thing to replay. Let's see.
I didn't know it was on Steam.
Okay, so that's a little video which shows you some of what Tabletop Simulator can do. Like I said, it's a virtual environment for creating and playing board and card games. And of course, you saw that you can import 3D objects. There's some physics in there, like you could see that they were flicking little tiles and they were spinning across. You can turn the table over if you get mad. You know, all kinds of fun stuff. Now down here is our links to buy the program. Like I said, it costs $20 to buy, but if you buy a 4-pack, it's only $60, which means $15 a piece. So if you guys, I don't know if you guys want to team up in groups of 4 and buy them and buy a 4-pack to save money, you're welcome to do that. Or if you want to just buy it yourself for 20 bucks and add it into your Steam account, you can do that as well. But this is software that you're going to need for the class. So, and I know we're all, starving students and teachers, so sometimes it's hard to find 20 bucks. But see if you can find a way to make this happen. So it's a great software. You're going to have a wonderful time working with it. It's really the bomb. I think it's awesome stuff. Okay, now I want to tell you this class is probably not going to go the whole, all the way till 5 whatever today, because the first class is always a little shorter. But I want to tell you some of the assignments I'm going to ask you to work on sort of over the weekend. I have an article here, which, this is sort of a negative article. It talks about indie development of games and how many games are available out there and what the competition is like. I'll give you articles that are both positive and negative about the game design industry, and my hope is you'll just absorb all this information and you'll find a happy medium in the middle where you'll see, hey, I want to make games. It's great that there's good side to the industry, and it sucks that there's a bad side, but I want to learn it all so I can be successful. There's another article here that you can take a look at. It's called The History of Board Games, and it's really fascinating stuff. It talks about how board games were initially made to indoctrinate people into certain, fill them with certain information. In this case, games were sometimes used to make people more religious or inform them about, in this case, Christ. And then how games also taught you how to be good little capitalists, right? So some really interesting stuff about the history of games in there. And then there's an assignment that I want to talk to you about. Okay, so let's get to the assignment. So now, since this is a virtual class, that means that you guys have the option to either work by yourself or work in teams. Now, you'll get more out of the class if you work in teams, but there's also going to be a little bit of a factor there where it's going to be a little more difficult because it's not just you doing it, you're working as part of the team, right? Now, I'm going to give you guys the option to work either by yourself or in small teams, but you are going to belong, even if you work by yourself, you are going to belong to a larger team, which is simply going to be a team that's going to give you feedback on the work you're doing. Okay? So, for example, let's say there's 20 people in this class, right? And let's say, for the sake of argument, every single person decides they want to be a solo designer and build their own games, right? Well, what I'm going to do, 20 people, let's say I'm going to make 4 teams, right? So the first 5 people will be on team 1, the next 5, team 2, team 3, team 4, right? What's going to happen is those 5 designers will design their games, but then they'll show those games to everybody on their team. And everybody on their team will give them feedback on how to improve those games. So in essence, even if you're working on your own game, you still have a team that's giving you feedback and helping you make that better, right? Now let's talk about a different scenario. Let's say there's 20 people in the class and half the people want to work solo and the other people form 2 or 3 person teams, right? Those smaller teams are going to work on, you know, games as a team, but they are still going to belong to a larger team, which is going to give them feedback about their games. So it's always the same scenario. No matter how big or small your team is, from either solo to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, that team is also going to be part of a larger team that's going to give you feedback on your work. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. All right. So if you know people in this class and you want to form teams with them, be my guest. If you don't know people in this class, but you still would like the experience of working in teams, just reach out to people. You can reach out to people, you know, through the chat is really a great way to do it, you know, in the class here. So you could, you know, here's our chat window. So I'm just gonna use an example. Pretend I was taking the class right there. So we got a couple people. Jazz and Jesse are both willing to team up with people. So if you're willing and interested in teaming up, just put your name down here, and then one of you guys take the initiative. And, you know, like let's say Jazz here, Jazz decides that he'd like to work in a 4-person team. So he sees the first 3 names under him, and he writes a message here, hey, Jesse, Nick, and Logan, you guys want to form a team? And they go, yeah. And he goes, okay. Well, let's trade information. Or here's an even better way. I'm familiar with how to set up a Discord server, so how about I set up a Discord server and share that login with you guys, and we all get on Discord, and that's where we talk about our games, right? Now, Discord, if you don't know, is a server where you can chat and do video and things like that, and it's obviously huge in the gaming industry, and it's a great place for you guys to form teams and to talk about your stuff, okay? So why don't I do this? Why don't I give you guys a few minutes right now? Go ahead and use this chat right here. And any of you that want to team up, go ahead and message each other. See if you can put your teams together, and then see if you can share some kind of information that'll let you communicate outside of class, whether it's, you know, everybody sends their email addresses to whoever's starting the team, or somebody goes out and starts a Discord server. Okay? So go ahead and take a few minutes. Use the chat. You can also talk right here in the video and see if you can form some teams.
Does anyone else think we should go about this in a strategic sort of way by having the most diversity of skill in a single team?
I'm sorry, can you say that again, Joshua?
Oh, was that not? Does anybody else think we should do this in a strategic sort of way with the most diversity of skill in a single team, in any given team?
Go ahead. If you want to respond, please do. Joshua's asking if everybody thinks maybe you should do this as a diversity kind of thing, where you try to make sure you get like, I'm assuming you're saying you want to get like one person who's good with graphic design and one person who's good with organization. Or
Yep.
Yeah. So if you guys want to talk right now, you can. Anybody have a response to Joshua? Why don't you try writing in that in the chat? See if you get some feedback.
Let's see.
So it looks like we might have Jazz as sort of a team leader, Joshua as a team leader, and if you guys are wanting to be on teams, address these people. You know, write to Jazz and say you want to be on his team, or Joshua you want to be on his team. If you want to start a third team, please do. You could write, "Hey, I'm willing to be a team leader for a new team," and then have people just write to you.
Jesse, Nick.
Yes.
So Nick, Jesse, Logan, you guys are all cool for sharing up?
Yeah. Sure.
Let me send this
Yeah,
to
I'm
you
good.
guys. Let me send this to you guys. I sent it to Jesse. I'm not on my usual machine today, so I'm gonna send this to you to have a record of your contact information. I'm gonna send you have you send it to my Pima email address. Oh, list is long. Okay. And we want Nick. There's that. Okay, and so yeah, Discord sounds pretty good. We can all get in there. I'm not going to be able to do anything live today on Discord. I'm on an off machine. We're having the roof torn off, so there's no AC, so I can't use my Beast machine today. It's too hot. But yeah, just send it to my email. We'll get everything else straightened out.
Would it be a good idea to make like a shared collective Discord so everybody can connect to one Discord and then split off into smaller teams? That might be a good idea. I don't know how to set that up, but just
I can set that up.
That is a great idea.
Yeah, just a general server.
It's a great idea. Who said they could set it up?
I could.
Okay, please do.
Okay.
And share that with us, and then like you said, people can organize outside of class if they want.
Sure. I'm gonna use my phone for that.
Okay.
1 moment.
Give you a minute here to do that.
Oh. We want this. We want create. Okie dokie. Let me just generate a general invite here. Yeah, that's fine. Number of uses, create link. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this manually into chat. 1 moment. Oops. Let's send that to everybody, shall we? Come on, why are you not?
Thanks for working on this, Jazz.
Yeah, no problem.
Got it all set up?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, everybody, Jazz has set up a Discord server. If you've never used Discord before, you can go to the Discord website and it'll sort of walk you through the process. But this is basically like, it's like this chat, except it's on a server outside of this class, so you guys can talk whenever you want. And of course, form your own separate Discord servers for your individual teams. I'm going to copy this one as well. Okay, so you might want to copy this, even if you don't do it now. You might want to copy it so that you have that information.
I kind of like how Discord's birthday drop down has birthday years all the way back to 1868.
That's kind of nice, huh?
That's awesome.
Okay, let me do one last thing today, and then I'm going to let you guys actually start forming your teams and talking. I'm going to give you guys an assignment, and once again, this is an assignment you can do as a solo game developer or as part of a team. The assignment is to work with your team to start developing a concept for a card or a board game that can be played inside of Tabletop Simulator. So in other words, if you want to design a card game, eventually one of you guys or several of you will have to make cards. Somebody will have to import those into Tabletop Simulator. Somebody else will have to write down some rules, right? You guys will have to talk it out about how the game's going to work, the mechanics, the aesthetics and the dynamics of the game, and so on and so forth. So what you want to do is work with your team and get a concept and maybe prepare, you know, a little paragraph that kind of explains in general terms what your game is going to be. And then you can take that paragraph, put it in somebody's shared folder, and we can talk about it next week on Monday. So that's going to be your first assignment. Form up in teams or work as a solo developer. Come up with an idea for a card or a board game, and then write up a one-paragraph description of it that you put in your folder that we can talk about on Monday. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about that?
How original does the idea have to be? Because I have an idea for, I've wanted to make a game from an anime for a while.
Okay.
And it would just be complicated to make. We might not even go with it, of course. Just
It doesn't have to be 100% original. Like, let's say, I'll give you an example. Oh, that's a beautiful cat you got there. I want that cat. If you give me that cat, I'll let you do whatever you want. Let's see. Let's say you had a great idea. Everybody knows Monopoly, right? Let's say that you had a great idea for doing Monopoly with just Halloween characters, right? You could do that as a game. Now, you wouldn't have to change it very much to make it an original game. You just wouldn't stick with all the Monopoly rules and the exact board layout. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So, and most games are at least inspired by other games. So, if you feel completely dry for ideas, you could think about really popular games that are out there like checkers or chess. You could think about poker and Go Fish, and you could create a game that's inspired by one of those. You know, you could do a Go Fish game that uses cartoon animals. You know, or you could do a more serious game. You could create a game about the environment. You know, where somebody goes out to save the environment, or you know, God forbid you would do something like this now, but you could create a political game, which I'm sure would start some shouting matches, but you know, it's probably the biggest political season of our lifetimes. So, you know, if you wanted to make a political game where the balance of the world was at stake, you know, be my guest. So really anything, the only rules that I tend to go by are, I'm not a big fan of things that are, you know, gonna offend people. So, you know, keep the 4-letter words and the graphic images, you know, to yourself, and make games that we can all look at and critique, you know. Okay. Any other questions about this first assignment here?
Could I make a drinking game?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole.
In fact, I would even call that a political game.
Perfect. I hope y'all ready to play then.
Yeah, all you have to do is watch the Democratic National Convention and drink every time somebody says Trump or something. I don't know.
I have alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, right. So, other questions? Okay, so this is what I'm going to task you guys with. You can stay in the class and you can use this chat right here. You can go to the Discord server that Jazz was nice enough to set up and start working with your teams. You can break off into separate Discord servers. You can work on that one. Start throwing ideas back and forth, and then task one of you with the job of writing it all, writing the concept up into a paragraph and putting it in their folder so we can talk about it on Monday. Okay? And then those of you that had trouble with the Adobe, take some time right now and see if you can crack that lock and get the Adobe to work, and then let me know if you don't. If you'd rather wait on the whole Adobe thing because you want to talk to your team now, that's fine too. Talk to your team and then try Adobe later and then email me if it doesn't work out, okay? But I'm going to give you basically from now until the end of class to work with your team and come up with ideas. And then also, if you want, look at the Adobe problem. I'm just going to stay online here to answer any questions, but you guys are free to break off into whatever little teams you need, okay? Is that good? Any other questions from you guys? Okay, go to it.
For anyone who had trouble with Adobe, I'm gonna try to email Adobe customer support, see if I can get it like for them to manually switch it back, and then I can let you guys know how that worked.
That would be perfect. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. I'm gonna turn off my screen share so you guys have your screen back.
Okay, apparently I can't do everything through the web app, so I'm gonna get the Discord on this machine, the app, and should be able to set permissions there.